aka Padders. It is episode 263. We're on our epic Netflix run, and we're talking the beautiful, the warrior, the tough chick, Charisse Theron, Atomic Blonde. She's here. Well, not here. She's here in spirit, but we're talking the old guard. And guess what? Here's the crazy thing. It's also based on the comic book. Netflix loves comics. I guess that's kind of cool, but okay, let's get into it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Welcome back. Look, everyone. Do me a favor, subscribe, support, leave a comment. That is the absolute best way of supporting me without purchasing something. But if you do enjoy everything you're hearing, you can pay me back. Go to Etsy, type in Uzi Susie. You'll find my mini comic. You can purchase it there. Now, you can also go to AKAPAD.com. That site now, this is years in the making. It is becoming the monster, the beast, the prophet, the visionary, the messiah, the digital messiah I've been planning. All these things are coming together. If you are really interested in everything that I'm doing, subscribe to the AKA Pad newsletter. Link is at the top left. Let's do this because we got a name here, and podcast wise, we're connected to the name Gina Price Blithwood. Now, get this, ready? I was not expecting this at all when I got into this movie. 2003. Our director is the producer of Biker Boys, one of my best episodes. I did that while I was on vacation, a wedding vacation, not mine, someone else's, and that episode did very well. And Biker Boys, it took me a while to eventually watch that movie. Biker Boys was a Fast and Furious inspired movie, or the success of Fast and Furious led to someone just saying, hey, maybe we could just put some motorcycles onto Fast and Furious and then people will enjoy it. Now, that only worked, I believe, with a Fast and Furious sit down arcade game. It was a vehicle arcade game. I think there was a Fast and Furious biker game. I really didn't like that. I like the normal one though, the regular sit down one, the Tokyo Drift one. That's the one. So Biker Boys was a part of that trend. Here's the movies that she directed leading into the old guard. 2000. Here we go. This movie somewhat was a slow simmering fire. Okay, Love and Basketball. A lot of people like that movie. The Secret Life of Bees. 2008. Okay. Beyond the Lights, 2014. Okay. And then we have 2020, The Old Guard. Now, everyone, I gotta say this. At one time in my life, I felt like I would have to support this movie just because it was based on a Image comic book by the same name, the great Ed Brubaker, right? He's the guy behind the comic. I'm trying to I don't really think it I'm sorry, not Brubaker. Greg Rucka. He is more than well known for strong female prominent characters. That's his trope. That's his entire contribution to the world of comics. He does have a the New 52 Wonder Woman. He has a wonderful take on Wonder Woman, on the origin and the Amazons and just how they work with society. A good take that I feel like should have became the norm. People bash the DC's New 52. There's a lot of really good stuff in that. But anyway, okay. So what's the point I'm getting at? I'm not upset by not backing this movie. The old guard, they're immortal. They all know how. They can sense each other. The old guard find one another, and then they fight. And sometimes they're on the side of good, and sometimes they're on the side of evil. And we're caught up in the discovery of a new old guard, this military, U.S. military girl, that she finds out that she's immortal. She gets her throat cut in the beginning. She doesn't die. Charisse Theron senses her. They find her. And then we have like an evil scientist guy. He's like, I need that DNA. He tries to get the DNA so he can create super soldiers and do all this stuff, comic book stuff, okay? And and then there you go. He eventually captures the whole team. There's a betrayal, and that's as far as I got. Now it took me about 4 times to get that far because I would watch this movie, seriously, just like in a serious fashion, and I would zone out because the characters are not interesting. The backstory is not interesting. The things that Charlize Theron does, because right, she's our Robin Hood. We got to focus on her. Not interesting, not cool, nothing. Okay, the and I thought I would never, ever since I saw 3 Days in the Valley, right? 2 Days in the Valley. That's like the movie that introduced me, the James Spader movie that introduced me to her. It took my breath away. It's like the first time I saw Cameron Diaz in The Mask. Completely blew the top of my head off. Now, I never thought I would say what I'm about to say. I think you gotta look for other roles because you're not this embodiment, and like doing the things you do on screen, we kind of want you to have a screen presence. I don't think she has it in this. It's the Linda Hamilton effect, I'll call it, from Terminator Dark Fate, where now I'm not saying about Charlize Theron, but I'm saying about Linda Hamilton, where you're just too old to be. I can't look at you. There's just nothing cool about this. And when I sit down to watch my cinema, I want things to be cooler than a cucumber, because there's no square here, everyone. None of that came through. Now, we do have some politics and we have some progressive elements in this movie. Normally, as a storyteller, these elements are like weaved into it to be undeniably a part of the narrative, not sticking out like a pimple, like a wart, like a sore thumb. You guys know my point. This took me out of this movie multiple times. And I just clearly was not interested in how this movie would wrap up. I wasn't invested enough to see the resolution. And I thought trying to watch it for 4 times was enough. Now, this is a common thread when it comes to you and me and this podcast. I'm not talking about Kong Godzilla until I've seen the movie a lot, until I've seen what surrounds that movie a lot. I'm gearing up for Mortal Kombat. I'm studying everything of Mortal Kombat. I'm studying everything of Godzilla to do a run of Godzilla while everyone's flipping out about Mortal Kombat. I have yet to decide the strategy, the plan, the POA, the plan of action for Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut, because I've only seen it once. Okay, I feel like I'm doing the movie a disservice if I'm not somehow unlocking something long form, discussion wise. So it takes multiple viewings, it takes study, it takes thinking to get to that part. Now, here's the crazy thing. The old guard doesn't try. It doesn't try. It looks good. I love the desert, the yellow. There's a lot of desert yellow. There's Close. There's this movie. There's Extraction. The desert yellows, Netflix is really into that. I think it's cool. This movie's made to a high, excellent level. The guts of it is clearly uninteresting and had a different agenda other than entertaining me. And for that reason, I'm out. Now, this movie looks like it's getting a number 2, a sequel, and I am hoping that movie kicks it up into gear, like that they take these concepts and they push it through, and they just don't do like, hey, we're going to show you Charlize Theron's possible like best friend that disappears. She's at the bottom of an ocean, but she's going to come back. Like, you know that because you're seeing the flashback. If the, there needs to be a through line. It's definitely not this. Is it the beginning of something else? Potentially, but there's no way to know, and it doesn't make me hopeful. So everyone, AKAPAD's Audio Audacity, leave a comment, subscribe, help promote this. We are marching. The army is growing. Episode 364 of our Netflix run. We're going on a superhero stretch, and then we're going to do sci-fi superhero shows. Project Powers. Jamie Foxx. Let's do this.